I'll catch Susan smiling at me for no reason. This has happened more than once. We'll be watching TV, just the two of us, like always. Then I'll notice with the corner of my eye that she's got her eyes on me, not the TV. Head turned 90 degrees my way, and a frozen smile on her face I can only barely make out of my peripheral vision. Something unnatural about it. And then I turn to look at her and she's got her eyes up on the TV again. I asked her about it the first time and she denies it. I was afraid I'd sound crazy if I pushed it, so I never asked it then. There were other things too. Susan had a twin sister that died during birth. She never talks about it. Just last week I turned off my lights and closed my eyes, and Susan was already asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night to find her standing beside the bed empty. I turned around, and she had that same smile by the side of the bed watching me. "Honey, what are you doing?" "Nothing." "Honey?" Just the smile she made. She made her way around the bed and nested herself under the blanket like it was nothing. "How long were you standing there?" I asked. She didn't answer, but her side of the bed was cold, and the carpet was sunken in the shape of her feet where she was standing. It didn't start out this crazy. For a long time, I tried to convince myself it was all in my head, but it wasn't. She was not Susan. I started doing these little tests. How I made sure. I put movies that we've already watched on TV, just to see if she'd say anything. Started telling her stories that I already told her. She'd smile and never call me up on it. I asked her point blank one day. I got home and she was eating fish. And Susan never eats fish. Susan hates fish. "Salmon?" I asked. "Tilapia." I sat on the table across from her. She smiled. "I was talking to the Principal Dawson about Sarah today," I said. "Sarah?" "Yes, our daughter, Sarah." She chuckled. "Right. What did he say?" Susan, our daughter's name is Camille." She stuck the fork halfway to her mouth and rose her eyes at me. Slowly set it back on the plate. "Who are you?" I asked. "I'm going to bed," she said, getting up. I slept in the guest room that night with the door locked. I ran away the next day and took Camille with me. We spent the night in the western close to Needles. "Where's Mommy?" Camille asked just before bed. "I don't know, honey, but if you hear anything, any sound at all, wake me up, okay?" "Okay." I dreamt of a woman just like Susan that night. A woman that wanted the life of her sister, the life she didn't get. Camille woke up in the morning and she was eating a cupcake. "Did you take that out of the minibar?" "No, Mommy gave it to me." I paused. "Mommy was here?" Camille nodded. "Yeah, she was standing right by the bed. She was there for a really long time." "Why didn't you wake me up, Camille?" "I was going to, but then Mommy went like this." Camille put her finger over her lips and went, "Shh." I looked down, and the carpet was shrunken where Camille said Susan had been. "It's okay, Daddy," she said. She was smiling. The following night, we were almost out of state at a bed and breakfast by the border. I turned off the lights, took Camille in, and waited, sitting in the armchair, in silence. I knew she would come. It was dead quiet, and I was dozing off when I heard the hinges creaking. I opened my eyes and waited. The door came open in slow motion. She came in, no sound but the door, walked to the side of Camille's bed, and the smile on her face. I got up. I went behind her. She couldn't even see me. Her eyes were locked on Camille. "Come on, honey, we're going home," she whispered. She didn't look back. She never even saw the knife when I plunged it in. The lawyer later would tell me that I was worried I was awarded no bail, and I'd have to wait for trial at a mental institution. Capgras syndrome, he said. It's a delusional misindication syndrome, not unlike Frigel, a disorder in which the person holds the delusion that a friend, spouse, partner, or family member has been replaced by an identical-looking imposter. I told him I was protecting my daughter. I told him that the woman wasn't Susan. Still, the newspapers all read successful LA engineer kidnaps daughter, murders wife. It wasn't Susan, I said to him again and again. It wasn't Susan. He said I was looking at 25 years. But the insanity plea might still come through. They locked me in that last night, my first night at the mental institution. Camilla's with social services, they said. My room is covered in cushion material, from wall to ceiling, a padded cell, they call it, so I won't hurt myself. Took me a couple of pills to fall asleep. Something woke me up just minutes before dawn. By the time I opened my eyes, it was dead quiet. I went to the door and peeked out through the little window. The corridor was deserted. I looked back, just by my bed. The cushions covered the floor were sunken in the shape of 2 feet.